to Eat, Drink, Explore Media's Market Fresh, live every Thursday evening right here on Crush 92.5 FM. Now, broadcasting live from the heart of downtown San Luis Obispo, here's your host, Randall White.
That's right, and a very, very good Thursday evening to you. Glad you can join us as we kick off another live edition of Market Fresh, heard each week from 5 until 6 o'clock, right here on Crush 92.5 FM. It is now the 4th day of April as we kick off, well, a very fresh produce-packed month. Springtime is when it all starts happening at the farmer's market. I mean, we're pretty spoiled when you think about it. For the winter months, I had a friend visiting from Wisconsin back in January. He just couldn't get over what we had at our farmer's market at that time of year. But now we're headed into what is really the rich season over the next several months as we head into spring, summer, and fall. I am your host, Randall White, sharing my passion for local and sustainable foods each week. You know, you can also watch a video simulcast of the show online. That's live as well. Follow the program at eatdrinkexplore.com. Use our free smartphone or tablet apps as well. All right, just ahead in our fresh news segment, we will be speaking with a company that has just put out this really cool salad or lettuce guide. There are so many different types of lettuce at the farmer's market. They happen to package their lettuces, but the guide will work just as well for you if you want to take it with you to the market to figure out what they're selling. So we'll talk to them a little bit about that. Also ahead on this week's show, we are speaking with the author of the Flexitarian Diet. Registered dietitian Dawn Jackson Blattner explains how straddling the line between a vegetarian and omnivore may just be the right solution for you. Then in the 5:30 half hour, we take a look at a local community-supported agriculture program. Community-supported agriculture, or known as a CSA. That's where you get a box full of locally grown vegetables. In this case, they deliver the farm fresh produce right to your doorstep. I have been a customer of this organization, and let me tell you, they do a fantastic job. Even though San Luis Obispo County has a farmer's market each and every day of the week.
This show is different from a lot of the other cooking competitions.
Yo, who's hungry?
Every week, I invite 4 of my favorite chefs to compete in my restaurant. We hand them...
There we go. Sorry about that. We have a computer that is in charge of all the sound. And if you open up a web page on it that has video playing, it'll come right on through to the radio. So sorry about that. But what I was saying is, you know, there's a farmer's market pretty much I think it is every day of the week here in San Luis Obispo County. But that doesn't mean you can make it to them, and they're not always right next to you or fit in with your schedule. So a CSA may be the way for you to go. Okay, our Thursday evening Market Fresh program comes to you from the heart of downtown San Luis Obispo, right above Higuera Street, between Osos and Moro, so that we can watch and listen as the city's famous market comes to life. Our goal is really simple: to get you in touch with the acronym FLOSS, which stands for Fresh, Local, Organic, Seasonal, Sustainable, FLOSS. We're physically at the downtown Slow Thursday market, but we do highlight offerings available at any one of your favorite San Luis Obispo or Santa Barbara County markets. So if you know of a great Central Coast market vendor, let us know. Or a great restaurant, whatever it might be. Just give us a ring here at the station, and we'll check them out. This hour of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio brought to you by Eberly Winery in Paso Robles, open daily from 10 until 6 with complimentary wine tasting and cave tours, voted by Wine Spectator as one of the best tours on the Central Coast. Eberly Winery, located on 46 East in Paso Robles. You can log on to eberlywinery.com. The Fresh News Report, great guests, and another fun night at the downtown San Luis Obispo Market are all straight ahead on this edition of Market Fresh. I am your host, Randall White. Keep it right here. We're back in just a moment.
It's Market Fresh on Crush 92.5 FM.
California business owners entrepreneurs, farmers, authors, and other professionals, this message is for you. We're looking to highlight those of you who give back to the community, care about the environment, and have the health of our state as part of your business model or focus. Our new California Love website is in the beta testing phase. So, during the next few months, we're offering free listings to qualified people or business entities. It's a win-win situation. You help populate our site with quality, locally owned California companies, and we help direct customers to your business or product. Simply head over to CALUV.com. That's CA as in California, LUV as in a cute way to spell love.com, and enter the information for your business today. Why wouldn't you? It's easy and it's free. CALUV.com, the California Love Business Recommendation Tool. Time now to tap into the Market Fresh grapevine on this Thursday night for the latest news affecting the fresh food and beverages that you love. A new report by the federal government shows a boost, this is good news, in the consumption of healthy produce at schools participating in the National Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Program, which started back in 2008 as part of a farm bill. The study shows kids at these schools eat, on average, an additional third of a cup of fruits and vegetables more than their counterparts at non-participating schools. The report also shows a 15% jump in the number of students incorporating produce into their diets. The program provides an additional fresh fruit or vegetable snack as an addition to the school's breakfast and lunch programs. Let's hope those numbers just continue to rise. Time for the California crop report, starting with the state's nut orchards. Almond bloom is now complete, with nutlets, they're called, forming, and the pistachio bloom is increasing. The Hass avocado harvest is still going on, and stone fruit is looking good for early summer. Cherries in full bloom, peaches, nectarines, plums, apricots, and prunes are leafing out, as it's called, with fruit forming on many of these trees already. Wineries reporting that the grapevines are filling up with leaves as bud break continues to move up the West Coast. Most local vineyards here in San Luis Obispo County report anything from near bud break to about an inch or so of greenery. Apple and pear trees blooming, and, ooh, I like this, hothouse blueberries are being picked. As far as California's citrus crops are concerned, look for blooms all over the place. Mandarin trees are being netted to prevent cross-pollination and to ensure seedless fruit. I didn't realize they had to do that. Navel oranges and lemons are being harvested as well. And here's a note of concern growing among orange growers in Southern California regarding efforts to combat the Asian citrus psyllid, it's called, an invasive disease-carrying insect that can cause massive crop damage. The problem seems to be coming from the region's residential backyard trees, and programs to spray those areas do not seem to be working. The financial cost is forcing the industry to look for other options. We will speak with California Department of Food and with the California Department of Food and Agriculture about the problem on next week's show at this same time. All right, California's Ready Pack company. You've undoubtedly seen their salad mixes at the grocery store. They're pretty ubiquitous. They are out with a consumer-friendly lettuce guide that you can view online or download and print. Joining us to talk now about the new guide and how you can use it. She hasn't called in yet. Oh, okay. So we will in a moment speak with Tristan Simpson. She's with Ready Pack Foods and was one of the people behind this idea to put out the publication that shows the, there's more than 20 different lettuce types, varying from broadleaf or your leafy greens, all the different types of lettuce that you may encounter. In Ready Pack's case, they blend them for you, but there are tips for pairing lettuces. You always hear about pairing, whereas, like an arugula may mix really well with, say, romaine or something along those lines. But you don't want to put too many bitter lettuces together. All right, Tristan joins us now. She is on the line. And hello, Tristan. Tristan, are you there?
She's number 4. She's on the air.
Huh. I don't know what to do because I'm getting an echo and Tristan's not there for us. So let's see. Yeah, bring her down for a second. My echo is not there. She's still on the line here, though. And we've clicked the... Well, Tristan, if you can hear me right now, why don't you hang up and call us right back? It might just be something as simple as getting a different connection might be the problem. So at any rate, this lettuce guide, which for those of you watching our online video simulcast right now, I'm going to pop up the lettuce guide here. And it's really laid out intelligently to help you when you're either at the farmer's market or at the grocery store to grab the right lettuce so that it works for you. She called back in and it's still doing the same thing?
She's still on.
She hasn't hung up. Why don't you disconnect or drop her from the line and then maybe that'll have her call back in. So that's a bummer because I really wanted to talk to her about that. What I'll do in the meantime here is talk a little bit about the market forecast for tonight because it is shaping up to be a pretty nice day here in downtown San Luis Obispo. The original forecast, I put together the forecast when I first get into the office in the morning, and then it changes over the course of the day. That's why I always find it funny when they do a 7-day outlook or something, because it changes within the time I'm sitting in the office. At any rate, it should be a pretty nice market in the 50s. All right, now I think we might have Tristan on the line. Tristan, are you there?
I'm here.
Oh, fantastic. Great to speak with you. I don't know what happened on that last go-round, but we've got you now. Hey,
yep, you got me.
Did you feel consumers needed a little help in the lettuce selection area?
Yeah, it can be a daunting task. We certainly don't expect every consumer to be an expert when they walk into the store.
Right.
So we wanted to provide a guide to help them kind of navigate through the dozens of varieties of lettuce.
What percentage of the lettuce sold in the United States comes through ReadyPack? You guys are a major player in the field, are you not?
Yeah, we are. We are a national producer of packaged salad throughout the country, and a large part of what we do comes out of the Salinas Valley in California.
Yeah, America's salad bowl, right?
Yep, exactly.
All right, now, with this guide, how do you break down the different types?
Well, we really break it out into 2 categories, and one is broadleaf lettuce, and that's usually the ones that most consumers are familiar with, things like iceberg and romaine. And the second category are baby lettuces and greens, more of your spinach, arugula, some of the more tender varieties. So those 2 categories make up kind of the 2 categories of lettuce.
And you highlight 20 different ones with this guide?
Yep, the guide goes through 20 different varieties and really outlines the taste, the texture, to educate consumers on each of the different varieties. There's quite a few.
Nutrients, too?
Yep, nutrients, too. And I think the big key is how to pair these varieties. Oftentimes, when we're looking for texture and taste in recipes, we look at combining many different types of lettuces. And
ReadyPack does that already.
Right.
Not to say ready too many times in a row, but you already blend the lettuces so people kind of don't have to think about it, but this is for people if they want to step beyond that.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually to educate them on what it is we do as well, and that is there is a science to blending. Many of our blends have up to 5 or more different types of lettuces.
And there are recipes included with this lettuce guide as well. You can find that if you go to eatdrinkexplore.com. Just click on tonight's program summary. It's right there. We have a link to the ReadyPack lettuce guide. Tristan Simpson, I'm sorry we didn't get to speak with you a little bit longer this morning for the phone problem there, but thank you for joining us anyway.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
All right, take care. Stick around, everyone. We are talking about a flexitarian diet up next here on Eat, Drink, Explore Radio. I'm your host, Randall White. You are listening to Crush 92.5 on this beautiful Thursday.
It's Market Fresh on Crush 92.5 FM.
Randall White here, host of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, with a tip for Central Coast wine tasting. Eberly Winery was recently voted Winery of the Year by the world's top sommeliers and has one of the best local tours according to Wine Spectator. Eberly Winery open daily 10 to 6, and the winery's cave tours and wine tasting always complimentary. It's easy to find, too. Located on Highway 46 East, just 3.5 miles from Highway 101. Now it's time to plan your visit. Just head to eberlywinery.com.
Seems everybody's going organic, including lawn care. Did you know communities across the country are converting their lawns, playgrounds, and playing fields to an organic care program? And it's working. You can safely control weeds and pests and have a beautiful lawn. Your kids, pets, and water supplies will be safer, and your neighbors will be green with envy. Oh, and in the long run, organic lawn care is cheaper than doing it the conventional way. Switch to organic lawn care today. Visit pesticidefreelawns.org. The folks who brought you this public service message. Check out pesticidefreelawns.org today.
California business owners, entrepreneurs, farmers, authors, and other professionals, this message is for you. We're looking to highlight those of you who give back to the community, care about the environment, and have the health of our state as part of your business model or focus. Our new California Love website is in the beta testing phase. So, during the next few months, we're offering free listings to qualified people or business entities. It's a win-win situation. You help populate our site with quality, locally owned California companies, and we help direct customers to your business or product. Simply head over to CALUV.com. That's CA as in California, LUV as in a cute way to spell love.com, and enter the information for your business today. Why wouldn't you? It's easy and it's free. CALUV.com, the California Love Business Recommendation Tool.
Market Fresh, broadcasting live from the heart of downtown San Luis Obispo. Here's your host, Randall White.
Welcome back to the program. I'm your host, Randall White, and it is now 19 minutes past the hour, and time for our healthy eating segment, where we focus on incorporating more market fresh ingredients into your diet. There is a measurable uptick in the number of Americans switching over to plant-based diets, whether they be vegetarian or full-blown vegans. For some people, though, the experience morphs into something that straddles definitions. Our guest this hour will help us understand this blurring of the lines with her book, The Flexitarian Diet. Joining us on the guest hotline right now is registered dietitian Dawn Jackson Blattner from her office in Chicago. Welcome to the show, Dawn.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm excited to talk about flexing your appetite.
You know, I was in San Francisco this past week, and I mentioned to some people there that I was interviewing you, and I mentioned the word flexitarian, and they said, I've never heard of that, but I love it because that's what I think I am.
Yeah, exactly. It's the combination of two words, flexible plus vegetarian. So you get the word flexitarian, and it's just what it sounds like. It's, people who want to wake up and be more vegetarian, but they don't want to be locked into, major hardcore rules. So, the flexibility part is really the part that enticed me personally doing this whole book and the project. It's how I live.
Now, first off, Dawn, have you ever followed a strict vegetarian or vegan diet?
Yes, I have. Actually, in college, I've dabbled in vegetarianism even before college days. But in college, I said, yes, I'm going to be a vegan. And here's what basically happened. I could never date. I could never go on a date. It was like cramping my style big time,
Right.
And then I'll tell you what, not only that, I would go over to my grandparents' house, and they would make pot roast with love, and it would be barbecues, and it would be Cubs games here in Chicago with hot dogs, and it would be Thanksgiving turkey, and there were all of these sort of meaningful meat moments that I was missing out on.
Yeah.
And so I said, man, there's got to be a better way than me sneaking all of these pork chops in the closet when I really am a vegetarian most of the time, but every once in a while I want to throw in some meat. And so that's, really what got me excited about flexitarianism.
Well, as humans, we really want to put things in boxes and an all or nothing category. And the fact of the matter is, I'm a flexitarian too. I have gone months being just vegan or, months being vegetarian. And I know exactly what you're talking about when you come upon these situations that either hold significant value, when it's a family event and they're cooking a certain thing, or you're over at a friend's house and they've prepared this beautiful meal, and you don't want to be that person, that says, I'm not eating this. Can you make me something completely separate or what have you? So I have found that about 90% of my diet now is plant-based, and that I have that little 10% range where, depending on the situation, I allow myself some meat. And I guess I don't understand why more people just don't allow that sort of flexibility.
Yeah, I think it's easier now more than ever because there is this term, it's not like you were just a bad vegetarian, because that's for years what I thought I was. I was like, I'm always a vegetarian, but once in a while I'm not. And then I felt like, a failure. And so having a term like flexitarian, makes people feel more likely to dabble in this and admit, the 10% or so that they're, in the meat family.
It's also a good gateway category for people that may go on to become, full-blown vegetarians or vegans. They can try this flexitarian thing out, and then they may find that the days where they do not eat any meat, they enjoy those days more, and then, incorporate even more into their diet. And really, when I think about it, that's how I found you. I found you because you had I believe it was a recipe listed on the Meatless Mondays page, the Meatless Mondays campaign.
Yeah, and you're right about it being a gateway into more and more plant-based eating because, I was wondering, how would the whole vegetarian community, kind of embrace me, right? Are they going to say, hey, thank you for having this, it, allows more people to do plant-based, or are they going to say, hey, stop even trying to dabble in our world like you're, just
right.
fake, And it was actually, very much an embrace that, vegetarians or hardcore vegans were like, hey, man, thanks so much. Because I think more and more of my friends are going to try plant-based. And even if they're never vegan or purebred vegetarian, at least people are eating more plants. And, if I had to give a tagline to sort of my belief system, is that I am very pro-plants. I'm just not anti-meat. And that's sort of the way of I think, the future, right? Is that, we don't have to have one or the other, that we can be pro-plants without necessarily demonizing meat.
I think sustainability-wise, that we have to go that direction.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, it's just that we can't continue to feed the world with the amount of meat that many of us currently eat. So, yeah. So what sort of layout then did you decide for the book? How did you incorporate meat into the diets, or how do you structure your recipes?
Well, I structure them how I basically live. So I live by waking up and intending to be a vegetarian. I really do. So these recipes are set out to be all vegetarian, except for they have like little asterisks in there where if there is this bean-based recipe, I say that you could do a flex swap so that, for example, if you're using garbanzo beans in a asparagus and rice dish, that you could, on any given day, swap out those garbanzo beans for something like chicken or shrimp. But I start out with vegetarian as the intention and then offer the swaps as a sidebar. And
you're nice enough to share one of your award-winning recipes with us that people can find on the website at eatdrinkexplore.com. Just go to our recipe section. It's the most current one listed. You can also go down and filter using vegan or vegetarian, that sort of thing. But it's a fried brown rice with asparagus. I like that because it's market fresh this time of year. And almonds, so you get some protein as well.
Yeah, and the real heavy hitter with protein in that dish is garbanzo beans. Beans are really, when it comes to being a flexitarian, vegetarian, or vegan, beans are really a top-notch source of protein. Plus, you get all the fiber and the fullness from them. Mm-hmm. And so I structure it so mostly, it's aiming people in the vegetarian recipe, side of things. But I do have levels. So a lot of people love goal setting when it comes to food. Yeah. And they say, when do I get to call myself a flexitarian? What's the deal here? What are the rules? And so, leave it to America to want rules around food.
I know.
So anyway, I did lay out some rules or some guidelines about becoming either a beginner, advanced, or expert flexitarian. So I did this by saying there's 21 meals in a typical week, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 7 days. And out of those 21 meals, if you do 6 of them meatless, you're a beginner. If you do 9 to 12 of them meatless, you're advanced. Uh-huh. And if you have 15 or more of those 21 meals as being plant-based, you are an expert flexitarian.
A full-blown.
The full-blown, the full Monty. So you and I, my friend, are definite expert flexitarians.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. You know what I find funny? Does this ever happen to you where people say, "Oh, you're a vegetarian, right?" Well, we have that. I bought fish tonight for they, right. And I'm like, well, that's a pescatarian, actually, but and now I have a term. Now I can say, but actually I'm a flexitarian, so that's perfectly fine,
Yeah, well, you know what, that's at least closer than my grandparents got. Every time I would say, hey, I'm a vegetarian, they would still offer me pork sausages, and they were like, what are you talking about? Pork's not meat.
Yeah, you
I was like, what? Oh, Grandma, what are you talking about?
Like it's just beef you're cutting out of your menu or something.
Right. Well, I have no idea. But, I have those various levels, and then for anybody who's, interested in dabbling, in this world, I do offer 3 starter steps, that if you wanted to become a flexitarian, hey, what would I do? What are the basics? And so the 3 steps that I have really created for my clientele as well is the first one is just reportioning your plate, right? Yeah. So even if you do nothing different and all you do is decrease the amount of meat on your plate or chicken or fish and increase the amount of vegetables, you are at least one step closer to being a flexitarian.
I love it. And they can find the other ones at your website, I'm imagining, DawnJacksonBlattner.com. You can also follow her Twitter feed. It's great, at DJ Blattner. Facebook page is /Dawn Jackson Blattner. Thank you so much for joining us today, Dawn.
Oh, well, thank you, and flex your appetite.
It's Market Fresh on Crush 92.5 FM.
California business owners, entrepreneurs, farmers, authors, and other professionals, this message is for you. We're looking to highlight those of you who give back to the community, care about the environment, and have the health of our state as part of your business model or focus. Our new California Love website is in the beta testing phase. So, during the next few months, we're offering free listings to qualified people or business entities. It's a win-win situation. You help populate our site with quality, locally owned family-owned California companies, and we help direct customers to your business or product. Simply head over to CALUV.com. That's CA as in California, LUV as in a cute way to spell love.com, and enter the information for your business today. Why wouldn't you? It's easy and it's free. CALUV.com, the California Love Business Recommendation Tool.
Seems everybody's going organic, including lawn care. Did you know communities across the country are converting their lawns, playgrounds, and playing fields to an organic care program? And it's working. You can safely control weeds and pests and have a beautiful lawn. Your kids, pets, and water supplies will be safer, and your neighbors will be green with envy. Oh, and in the long run, organic lawn care is cheaper than doing it the conventional way. Switch to organic lawn care today. Visit pesticidefreelawns.org. The folks who brought you this public service message. Check out pesticidefreelawns.org today.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
Market Fresh, broadcasting live from the heart of downtown San Luis Obispo. Here's your host, Randall White.
And a very good Thursday evening, everyone. Great to have you with us here for Market Fresh, live from the heart of downtown San Luis Obispo, where all the action happens on Thursday nights. It's so much fun. Even if you're not into fresh fruits and vegetables, the Thursday night market's about much more than that. Entertainment and socializing. That is in our next segment. We'll talk about what entertainment and such you can find at tonight's market. This segment is more about the producers, the fresh fruits and vegetables available to you right here on the Central Coast. And tonight we're talking CSAs, Community Supported Agriculture. And there's one here on the Central Coast that I was a part of for a couple of years and really enjoyed while I was. It's called Slow Veg. That's pretty easy to remember, right? SLO and then VEG. You can find more about them at slowveg.com. Rachel Hill, the proprietor, joins us here in studio right now. And welcome to Market Fresh.
Thanks, Randall. I'm really happy to be here.
Well, when I first heard about your operation, was really soon after you got started, I think. And I was working for KCOY at the time. And I thought, I want to do that. And so I did. I signed up. And it was great. Every week a different box would magically arrive.
It's just like Christmas.
Every week. And it's one of those where, some families at Christmas, your parents or whoever ask you, what do you want for Christmas? You give them a list and then you get the list. With Slow Veg, you didn't know what you were getting. And I liked that aspect of it. We could talk about that. Let's start with what is a CSA. First of all, for people that are not familiar with them.
Well, a CSA, Randall, is it's a farm share where a person can go to the farm, link up with them. They pay an upfront cost and buy into that share for the season. They can either pick that up at the farm or go directly to a drop spot.
And we have those in San Luis Obispo, other ones?
There's quite a few others, I believe, in North County and South County.
Cal Poly used to do that, and then they stopped the program, I believe.
They did stop their program.
That helped you?
It did help us. They're now growing for us, which is amazing. We love their product.
Oh, really? You have Cal Poly produce in your back.
Exactly. We reach out to them almost every week, see what they've got coming, and rotate.
So you're how long into it now?
This June, we're going to roll into our 4th year.
Really?
Yes, we're really excited about that.
So we were with you in the beginning then. Because,
you were definitely there.
Yeah, because we haven't had it now for at least a year or more.
Right, exactly.
So let's talk about how you make your arrangement with the producers. How many different ones do you use?
Well, we're networked with about 30 or 40 different farmers from Goleta all the way over to Sanger. Each of the farmers...
Sanger in the Central Valley?
Yes, exactly. The farmers that you see at Farmers Market, we've reached out to each of them. Everything grows seasonal, so we're always switching farmers. We want a diverse offering in our box.
Yeah.
And so each week we call up a new one, see what they have, put together a box, kind of pair items. That way, with our box, we do send you an email that's going to tell you recipes that you can try out, pair veggies with it.
I loved that. You came to the rescue many times with that recipe page because the box would arrive and we would open it up and look at it and, right off the top, it's like, oh, great, blueberries or whatever, and you're pulling stuff out of the box and then it's like, what's this?
That's like collard greens. I never tried them.
Right. So I said, well, if we go to slowveg.com or if I check my email, I know that it's in there also. And I would look it up. And then you were kind enough to provide recipes, often for the things that you thought people might not know about.
Exactly. You're like, okay, what is this? This looks foreign.
Well, I'll tell you that my list of ingredients that I would use in the kitchen greatly expanded after becoming a Slow Veg customer. And now it is really common for us to cook with kale and chard, two things we had never purchased prior.
Fennel.
Fennel's great.
I love fennel. I didn't like it at first, and now it's one of my favorite items. Love it raw.
Yeah. It's like black licorice a little bit.
Yes, it is. It's one of the new favorites. So
there's a woman in the Central Valley, in fact, I think in Sanger, that makes fennel pollen.
Wow!
It comes in like a little tin can, and it's just the pollen from the fennel plant, and it lasts for such a long time. And you just sprinkle a little of that into whatever dish you're making, and especially if you're using fennel in that dish, and it boosts the fennel factor by 20, 30%.
Is she at Farmers Market?
She where I originally bought it was at the Morro Bay Farmers Market, but I don't think she comes to the Central Coast anymore.
Oh, darn.
I know. But
I'm always looking for new items to share with our customers.
She might. So if you just Google fennel pollen.
I think I'll try that.
Or I'll send you an email when I get home. I'll look on the can.
That sounds great.
There's probably something right there. So what options do your customers have? Are they tied to one box a week of a certain size?
With our service, you have the option of Monday through Friday delivery. Mm-hmm. You could have that weekly, every other week. You can have once a month. We do offer 3 different sizes. We have our small box, which is geared for 1 to 2 people. Our medium is 2 to 3, and our large is for 3 to 5. Basically, if you have a dislike, we're more than happy to accommodate you. We'll sub out other items. We want to keep the value in your box for you.
Yeah. What's the organic to conventional ratio?
Let's see. It's probably 80-20.
Uh-huh.
Probably 20% organic.
Yeah.
And it
That's
just
about what you would
depends.
find at the market, too.
Right, exactly. All of the farmers that we use do grow pesticide-free or certified organic.
Oh, well, that's great
So-
because, it doesn't have to be, it's a big process and expensive to go through the organic certification, to go through the entire organic certification process. And sometimes they're growing pesticide free. It's just they have to do it for 10 years on that piece of land before.
Exactly.
There's so many different aspects to it.
Yeah, there are a number of our farmers that have chose, they grow that way, but they have just chose not to go ahead and get that certification because there's a big process to it. So.
Right. When I was a Slow Veg member, I was traveling all over the state constantly. And so I would have to contact you and say, no box this week. Okay, a box started again on, January 15th or whatever. And I found that to be so easy if you know your schedule and you're going to be out of town. And even if you don't, at the last minute, I would send you something sometimes and say that, we just can't make it. And so
that's one of the great options with us. If you're not going to be home, you're going out of town, last minute, shoot us an email. We'll place a hold with the credit card merchant. If your card processes, we'll credit your next delivery. You're really not locked in with us. You're really not paying an upfront cost. You pretty much pay per delivery.
Yeah.
Yeah. And super simple.
And we found that the quality of the produce that you get and the amount and the convenience all combined together, you have a really great price point.
Well, thank you. We agree, and it's, with everything being so fresh, it's no more than 2 days picked. Our farmers, we have the greatest farmers. Some of our favorites are Cal Poly, Batista Farms.
Batista, yeah.
Yes, Batista's one of our favorites. We use them quite frequently. Also, L&C Smith Farms, Schledowitz Farms, and all of these, they're scattered all around the community. And your
Sorry
phone's
about that.
going off.
My phone's going on. I don't know if that was picked up by the microphone or not, but
we're hands down. We have some of the best farmers here. They're just willing to accommodate us. We have a number of them that are growing for us. We select the items, go through the farm book. Let's pick this. We want this for this season because a number of farmers here locally grow the same items. So we're always looking for farmers that'll go outside and grow certain things that we like.
Now, you don't have to physically travel to all these different farms to pick up the produce, do you?
When we started, yes,
you
we
did. Uh-huh.
Yes, we pretty much streamlined our process to where almost all of them are now delivering to our warehouse here in Slow.
Oh, that's much better.
It's so much nicer.
I'm picturing you in a car driving out to Sanger and then down to, Goleta.
Right.
That's a big
That is a
span.
big gap, yeah. For those citrus farmers and cherry farmers that are out of our community and come a little further, they'll deliver to us a couple times a week.
Do your customers have a favorite season? Like, do you see drop off like in late fall and then they pick up again in September, or do most people carry through?
This last year, it was pretty amazing. We pretty much kept almost all of our clients throughout the winter. There's a little bit of a drop off, but I would have to say spring and summer are really huge for us in the past, and we're really excited about the upcoming season.
You had great stone fruit selection, I remember.
We did.
Oh,
I can't
man.
wait. Apricots are coming.
Yeah, the apricots. There was a peach one time that came in the box, and I don't know, it was almost like a religious experience. I took a bite of that peach, and I thought, that might be the best peach I've ever had.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was so good. It was worth the entire cost of the box,
Yay.
And so you're really good also about recycling. I like that.
Yeah, with your harvest box, we deliver your box. You hold on to it. We come back, your following delivery, you set the box out. We'll exchange it for a full one. And we're all go green.
Now, a couple of shows ago, we featured Slow Fresh Catch, I believe it's called.
It is Slow Fresh Catch, the community sustainable fishery.
And so you include that in your
we
box.
do. You have that option. You can add fresh fish. They offer an 8 or a 16-ounce portion. I will deliver it to you. We just ask our customers, set out a small cooler, a little gel pack. We'll slip it in there. They've got fresh fish.
And I remember I thought, how are they going to pull this off? And then I would get the box, and sure enough, that fish was nice and cold. Yeah. And so that's a CFA,
Community Sustainable Fish. So CSF. CSF. So all your fishermen out of Tognazzini's, Morro Bay, and they're fishing the coast.
Tognazzini's Dockside. I love that place on the weekends. I got to tell you, I got to step away from that place from time to time because I have a little bit too much fun there. But yeah, great fish, great produce, great idea. I'm glad you did it. I'm glad it's successful and growing.
Well, we love what we're doing. It's just so fun sustaining and creating new jobs. And
you wanted to give a shout out to your customers, right?
I definitely want to give a shout out to my customers. Slow Veg, we love you. All of you customers, you're amazing.
Cool.
Thank you for spreading the word.
Rachel Hill, proprietor of Slow Veg. It is slowvegeasyenough.com. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much.
Stick around, everyone. We got the Street Report coming up next.
It's Market Fresh on Crush 92.5 FM.
Randall White here, host of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, with a tip for Central Coast wine tasting. Eberly Winery was recently voted Winery of the Year by the world's top sommeliers and has one of the best local tours according to Wine Spectator. Eberly Winery open daily 10 to 6, and the winery's cave tours and wine tasting always complimentary. It's easy to find, too. Located on Highway 46 East, just 3.5 miles from Highway 101. Now it's time to plan your visit. Just head to eberlywinery.com.
Seems everybody's going organic, including lawn care. Did you know communities across the country are converting their lawns, playgrounds, and playing fields to an organic care program? And it's working. You can safely control weeds and pests and have a beautiful lawn. Your kids, pets, and water supplies will be safer, and your neighbors will be green with envy. Oh, and in the long run, organic lawn care is cheaper than doing it the conventional way. Switch to organic lawn care today. Visit pesticidefreelawns.org. The folks who brought you this public service message. Check out pesticidefreelawns.org today.
California business owners, entrepreneurs, farmers, authors, and other professionals, this message is for you. We're looking to highlight those of you who give back to the community, care about the environment, and have the health of our state as part of your business model or focus. Our new California Love website is in the beta testing phase. So, during the next few months, we're offering free listings to qualified people or business entities. It's a win-win situation. You help populate our site with quality, locally owned California companies, and we help direct customers to your business or product. Simply head over to CALUV.com. That's CA as in California, LUV as in a cute way to spell love.com, and enter the information for your business today. Why wouldn't you? It's easy and it's free. CALUV.com, the California Love Business Recommendation Tool.
Market Fresh, broadcasting live from the heart of downtown San Luis Obispo. Here's your host, Randall White.
Yes, it is. We love the fact that we are live and physically right here in the heart of downtown San Luis Obispo, so close to the farmers market, in fact, overlooking Higuera Street. If you find yourself in downtown San Luis right now, just look directly above Pete's Coffee. That's where our studio is. You can see all the lights on. And all the vendors below us right now are getting their act together, and they get to start selling their food in about 10 minutes. The produce providers have to wait just a little bit longer, but they ring that opening bell at 6:10, I believe it is, and then carry it all the way through until 9 o'clock. They're very strict about that, but they can hand out free samples. So if you're a sample person, you can go by and get a sample of an orange or a strawberry or whatever you might like. And of course, we've got entertainment kicking off on all the different corners. And that's what we're going to find out about right now as we headed over to Jen Young, our newest reporter, but taking over for Nicole. Hey, Jen, welcome to the program.
Hey, Randall. Thank you for having me. Now, this is the first Farmers of April, and I'm very excited because we just had spring break last week, so I'm ready to get back into farmers and all the excitement. So to give you a little bit of what's going on here, on Napomo Street, we've got rock and roll band Ghost Town Traffic Jam. A little interesting name, but they're a four-man band. They started in 2011 in Mississippi, but all the members are from the Central Coast, so there's a little bit of home there. And you can find them on Napomo Street near McClintock's. Now on Broad Street, if you brought little ones with you and they have too much energy, well, you can take them to Sir Bounce-A-Lot. It is a family-owned business, and they'll be there with their rock wall, so you can let the kids get out all their energy there so they can sleep better tonight. Now on Garden Street, we've got, if you're not into the rock and roll thing, we've got a little bit faster music going. Canadian Eurodance musician MJ is going to be here. Now if you don't know who she is, she had a series of dance hits in the 90s, and normally she tours around Canada, but she decided to come down south here to SLO to give us a taste of her sound. It's a little bit of dance music for those of you who want to move and groove tonight. Now on Choro Street, if you like softer sounds, we've got acoustic folk artist Lauren Radis, and it's a little slower, a little softer, and that's on Choro Street. And also on Morrow Street, the Dairy Creek Golf Course will be out there, so if you want to check out your golf swing or practice it a little bit, you can do that down there.
That's fun. So they work in a little bit of activity mixed with some different types of music, whatever floats your boat. So if one corner doesn't do it for you, you just, walk on down to the next one.
Yeah, definitely. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about a featured farmer we have here tonight. It's called Dairy Goddess Farmstead Cheese. Now, this kind of interests me because I'm a big cheese fan, and it's a third-generation farmer family. They're based out of Lemoore, California, and they specialize in fromage blanc. I hope I said it right. Randall, you and I talked about that earlier. But they've got 3 different types, and they're kind of interesting names. One's called Naked, one's called Bliss. I think I'm going to have to go down there and try that. Now, they just added a smoky chipotle jack cheese to the menu. I'm not a spicy person, but maybe, Randall, you'll want to try that. And they also added some chocolate milk, and that I'm definitely going to try. But it's a beautiful day here tonight. It's a little chilly, so bring your jacket. But that's all we have here tonight. Thanks, Randall.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you, Jen Young, doing a great job. You're a college student at Cal Poly right now, and we try to use Poly journalism students for this Thursday night show to give you some practice and that sort of thing. And Jen, for your first time, it was an awesome job. You knocked it out of the park.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jen. All right, time now to get a check of the Market Fresh forecast. And we're looking at clearing skies. I need to just look behind me. You know what? I think it got a little cloudier than it was before. So the original forecast was for clearing skies, but it looks like some clouds have moved in. The chance of rain is very, very small, though. I think it's around 10%, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. But like Jen said, it is cool out there, so you'll want to bring a wrap or two. Temperature at the start of the market, which is 7 minutes from now, was forecast to be 59 degrees, so we should be right in that range. And then as the farmers market progresses until closing time at 9 o'clock, we'll shave 8 degrees off of that, and we'll be in the low 50s, right around 51 degrees. So if you don't feel it's cool enough for a jacket now, you will by the end of the whole thing. So layer, as we've gotten so used to here on the Central Coast. Skies, like I said, partly cloudy to mostly cloudy right now, and the winds are light, about 7 miles per hour from the northwest, which can give you that added chill factor. The good thing is Higuera Street is a really protected street. So if you are watching the video simulcast version of our show right now at eatdrinkexplore.com, we're looking right down on Higuera, and you can see it's just a light wind, really not much of anything, but it's really starting to get busy. We're getting into that busy time of year for the farmers market, springtime, summer, when people get out to the market right at the start of it. And that is what we are definitely seeing right now. If you missed any of our guests today, you can find all of their information and a replay of the show online at eatdrinkexplore.com. Just go to our program summary. We spoke with the author of the Flexitarian diet. So if you don't feel you have it in you to become a vegetarian or a vegan, but you really love the whole plant-based idea, maybe a flexitarian is your thing. And so author Dawn Jackson Blattner's book, really cool the way she lays it out. What she basically does is she takes all vegetarian recipes and then with a little asterisk says, hey, this is how you can make this dish with meat. And here's a good meat that would go with it, how you would prepare the meat, that sort of thing. So she gives you two options for every recipe. It's either a vegetarian or a vegan recipe, or it's an omnivore recipe. And so really makes it easy for planning, or if you need to make a meal for several members of your family and they're not all on board with the same program, well, this book is the book for you. So the Flexitarian diet, we have a link to that on the program summary. And then we spoke with the proprietor of SlowVeg, that's SLOVEG.com, Rachel Hill, joined us to talk about bringing vegetables right to your doorstep if you don't have time to make it to the market. Even though we have a market here in San Luis Obispo 7 days a week, that doesn't mean you can always get to wherever that market may be at that time. And so perhaps having them dropped off at your house is the best way to go about it. All right, stick around, everyone. Next week on this very show, we will be speaking with the Department of Food and Agriculture in California to talk about a threat to citrus trees here in the state, a disease carried by an insect that's really been causing problems in Southern California mostly, but there have been examples of it here on the Central Coast. I have an orange tree in my backyard, so I'm going to have to start looking to see if there's any of these pests on that tree as well. So you'll want to hear that. And don't forget to download our smartphone and tablet device apps via the Apple Store and Google Play. Anthony Renaro, our audio technician, thank you for your job tonight. All of our guests that we mentioned. I'm your host, Randall White, saying for all of us here at Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, sink your teeth into something market fresh. That's the best way to go about it. We'll catch you back here next week. Ciao for now.
It's Market Fresh on Crush 92.5 FM.